Hello and welcome to the Horsefall Stadium for tonight's Buildbase FA Trophy between Bradford Park Avenue and Marine. Bradford currently sit 18th in the Vanarama National League North, which is 2 divisions above Marine, while the Mariners top the Northern Premier League West Division. Now for the lineups, starting with the home side. Number 1, Johnny Saltmer. Number 2, Lucas Oddunston. Number 3, Rhys Staunton. Number 4, Isaac Marriott. Number 5, Luca Haven. Number 6, Nickerson Gomes. Number 7, Dylan Motley Henry. Number 8, Simon Richmond. Number 9, Brad Doherty. Number 10, Ollie Johnson. Number 11, Luke Rawson. And now for the Mariners lineup, we've got number 1, Bailey Passant. Number 2, Josh Solomon Davies. Number 3, Kyle Haid. Number 4, David Draven. Number 5, Mark Howarth. Number 6, James Devine. Number 7, Owen Watkinson. Number 8, Ryan Stratulis. Number 9, Niall Cummins. Number 10, James Barrigan. And number 11 is Neil Kenji. The players are now out on the pitch. Marine wearing all blue, while the home side Bradford wear white, all white with green socks. And it looks like Marine are going to start us off with Ryan Stratulis set to take the kick. And we're underway here at the Horsefall Stadium, and it's played back to Mark Howard, who looks to switch the ball, and it goes over the head of Niall Cummins, and it'll be a throw-in for Bradford Park Avenue. And it's thrown forward, and it's headed clear. And now Stratulis battles. The ball now breaks for Bradford Park Avenue's Doherty. Doherty plays the ball out wide to Rawson. Rawson's shot is deflected off Kyle Haid, and it'll be out for a Bradford Park Avenue corner at the start of the game. And it looks like it's going to be Motley Henry to take the corner for Bradford. And it's crossed in. And it's bet. And it's volleyed towards the Marine goal, but it's straight at Bailey Passant. It was a very good chance for Bradford, as he was clearing the box from the corner. But now the ball is booted up by Passant, and then is headed back to Marine's number 1. If you've got any questions, just make sure you put them in the chat. Go on, see if you can hear me. Now the ball's kicked forward by Saltmer, but the ball goes out for a Marine throw-in, which Josh Solomon Davies will take on the halfway line. Josh Solomon Davies plays the ball into Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins tries to let the ball run to Kenji, but it's intercepted. And now it's Ryan Stratulis about 30 yards out. And his pass forward towards Owen Watkinson is intercepted, and now it's played back to the Bradford goalkeeper Saltmer. Saltmer's kick forward, and Stratulis wins the header and is fouled for a push in the back, and Marine will have a free kick on the halfway line with 4 minutes gone in the game so far, and it's still Marine 0, Bradford Park Avenue 0. James Devine's going to take the free kick. Devine plays the ball into the box. And it's flicked on by a Bradford Park Avenue defender. And it's gone out for a corner as Saltmer attempted to keep the ball in. But the referee has disagreed that the ball was kept in play. And it's first corner of the match for the Mariners, which Ryan Stratulis will take. Of course, Stratulis, this is his second game for the Mariners since signing on loan from Tranmere Rovers. And his corner's put in, and it's a dangerous ball, and it's headed at the back post, and it's Mark Howarth with a free header at the back post after the ball had flicked up off the head of Niall Cummins in the middle of the penalty area. And really, the centre-back should have scored and gave Marine the lead. His header from inside the 6-yard box. He got free of his man at the back post, but he heads the ball over, and it remains 0-0. And it'll be a goal kick for Bradford Park Avenue, which Saltmer will take. And Saltmer plays the ball forward. Howarth wins the header, and Cummins lays off Stratulis. Stratulis driving forward. Stratulis is going to have a strike from about 30 yards out, and took a slight deflection, which took all the power out of the shot, and it goes straight into the hands of Johnny Saltmer. And Saltmer rolls the ball out, and it's played forward for Bradford, but the ball deflects and ends up back on the feet of Marine, and with James Devine, who's playing centre-back again today. Of course, we know Devine is very versatile, played in midfield or defence, but today he's playing in defence along with Mark Howarth, with Kyle Hayde and Josh Solomon-Davies as the fullbacks. Now Saltmer rolls the ball out to Staunton. Staunton plays the ball in, and it's a foul by Devine on the halfway line, and it'll be a free kick for Bradford. And Isaac Marriott will take, and it's played into Staunton. Staunton plays the ball forward, but it's intercepted by Kenji, and now Kenji's driving forward on the right hand side. Kenji beats his man. He now cuts back and tries to drill the ball into the box for Niall Cummins, but he's intercepted, and now Bradford look to counter attack. On the wing is Rawson. Rawson's held up brilliant by Hayde, and he plays the ball inside for Oddenston. Oddenston to Doherty, and now Bradford go back, and now have the ball with the centre back with Gomez. Gomez plays the ball forward. Now Marriott. Now driving forward to Staunton. He's driving at the Marine defence, and he's now beat a few, and he's in the corner, and he attempts to win a corner off Josh Solomon-Davies, but Solomon-Davies gets out the way, and the ball goes out for a Marine goal kick, which Passop will take. As we hear the drums from the Bradford Park Avenue fans, with the score remaining 0-0 with 7 minutes into the match. And Passons plays the ball up the pitch towards Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins flicks it on, but the ball's cleared by Haven, and then headed by Mark Howarth and picked up by Marriott. And the ball's played back to the Bradford goalkeeper, Saltmer, who plays the ball all the way forward. Devine heads the ball away, and it drops for Johnson. Ollie Johnson out wide for Rawson. Rawson cuts inside. Richmond into Staunton. Staunton into Motley Henry. And now Motley Henry looks to drive at Josh Solomon-Davies. And he's encouraged to shoot, and he does shoot, but it's a very tame effort, and it goes straight into the hands of Bailey Passons. To answer your question, no, David Raven is on the bench today. And Watkinson looks to press the Bradford defence, but he gets past them and the ball's played into Rawson. Luke Rawson crosses the ball in and a claim for a penalty for a foul on Doherty after Mark Howth got a little bit tight to his man, but the referee disagrees and the ball is cleared by Josh Solomon-Davies and is picked up by the Bradford Park Avenue defence. Dunstan plays it back to his keeper in Saltmer. Saltmer plays the ball long again and it's headed by Mark Howth, but it breaks for Doherty. Doherty now driving at the Marine defence and Doherty into the Marine penalty area and Doherty, and the ball breaks to another Bradford Park Avenue player inside the 6-yard box, but he puts a shot over the top of Passon's crossbar, but he was waved offside anyway. It's an even match so far, with both sides having one chance each, but the score is still currently Marine 0, Bradford Park Avenue 0. And Passon's goal kick goes forward towards Owen Watkinson. Owen Watkinson challenges well, but the ball breaks and now the ball's lofted forward towards Doherty. Doherty plays a 1-2. Doherty then pulls the ball back to Marriott. Marriott looked to shoot, but has ended up playing the ball back wide. And now Bradford look to start again and play the ball back to the halfway line. And Doherty tries to do a skill, but Barrigan intercepts him, but the ball then breaks again to the Bradford Park Avenue defence. And Doherty once again picks up the ball deep. Now Staunton to Johnson, and he attempts to pass into Rawson and it's miscontrolled and the ball goes out for a throw in inside the Marine half, which Kyle Hayde will take. Hayde into Barrigan. Hayde looks to play the ball long, but once again Niall Cummins had came short. But Hayde attempted to play the ball long. A misunderstanding between the two Marine players. And now Bradford Park Avenue look to go long again towards Johnson. Johnson manages to get in front of Devine. And now the ball falls to the edge of the box and another effort from distance, but Josh Solomon-Davies manages to block the shot. And now Bradford Park Avenue look to start again with Haven. Into Dunstan. Richmond. Staunton. Bradford Park Avenue having most of the ball, it looks like, at the start of this game, looking to build from the back, with the captain having looking to start most of the attacks by playing the ball long, but this time the ball is slightly overhit and it'll go out on the far side for a Marine throw, which Josh Solomon-Davies will take. Solomon-Davies throws the ball forward towards Niall Cummins. Cummins flicks it onto Kenji. And once again, the ball deflects and goes back to the Bradford Park Avenue defence, who looks to build an attack again. Dunstan into Rawson. Dunstan looks then to play the ball in behind Mark Howth, but Mark Howth gets a foot to it, and Bradford Park Avenue claim for a corner, but the referee's assistant gives a throw in right by the Marine corner flag on the right hand side. which Oddenston will take. Oddenston's throw is a poor one, and it ends up deflecting off his teammate and goes out for a throw-in, which Kyle Hayde will now take in the corner for Marine. Hayde to Passant. Passant then looks to go long again towards Neil Kenji. Neil Kenji does brilliant and manages to keep the ball in, but the ball then goes out of play after he tried to flick around the defender. It was a good skill from Kenji, but unfortunately it just didn't come off. Now Bradford come forward again with Rawson. Rawson, who's seen a lot of the ball in the opening minutes of this game. With 14 minutes gone, it's still Bradford Park Avenue 0, Marine 0. Marriott into Richmond. Now into Havant. Once again, Bradford looking to play one-touch, two-touch football and build from the back as Marine sit very deep, and it looks like we'll try to counter-attack against the side that are 2 divisions above them. And now the ball's cleared forward by Kyle Hayde, but once again it's intercepted, and now Owen Watkinson does brilliant to win the ball high, and it'll be a throw-in. It looked like a throw-in to Marine, but the referee disagrees and gives a throw-in to Bradford Park Avenue on the halfway line, which Oddenston will take. Once again he throws the ball to Rawson, and his attempted ball over the top to Johnson is deflected by James Barragan, and it'll be another throw-in on this right hand side for Bradford Park Avenue. And Owen Watkinson does brilliant to press high and deflect the ball back off Oddenston, and this time it'll be a Marine throw-in halfway through the Marine half. Which Kyle Hayde will take. In the opening 16 minutes of the match, Bradford Park Avenue have probably been the better of the 2 sides, as they've tried to dominate the possession, but now Marine have the ball with Mark Howarth, who looks to do one of his switches once again, attempting to try and find Neil Kenji, but it's intercepted and the ball breaks back for Solomon Davies, who plays it to Devine. Devine inside to David Lynch. Forward to Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins looked to slip the ball in behind for Neil Kenji once again, but it was intercepted by Oddenston, and Cummins commits a foul. It'll be a free kick inside the Bradford half. And it'll be Staunton to take. Staunton plays the ball long, and the ball's gone over the head of Kyle Hayde, but luckily Owen Watkinson had got back and manages to clear the ball forward. But once again the header is won by the Bradford Park Avenue defence, and then Kyle Hayde manages to sweep the ball forward. And then James Devine picks up the ball and plays the ball back to Bailey Passant, as Marine look to start from the back once again. Mark Howarth once again tries that switch of play towards Neil Kenji and Josh Solomon Davies, but this time it doesn't come off. And James Devine does brilliant to tackle and have the ball deflect back off Motley Henry, and it will be a Marine throw-in. Solomon Davies will take the throw-in inside the Marine half. So far, just one chance each for each side. The first one for Marine through Mark Howarth, which was headed just over the crossbar, and the chance for Bradford through Luke Rawson as he looked to get in behind, but his effort from inside the 6-yard box also went over the top of the goal, and it remains Bradford Park Avenue 0, Marine 0, with 19 minutes gone inside this match. Solomon Davies will take a throw in, throws it to Niall Cummins. Cummins looks to hold off his man, and he claims for a free kick, but the referee disagrees. And now Bradford Park Avenue will look to build an attack down the right hand side with Oddenston to Rawson. Rawson inside to Marriott. Marriott back to Staunton. Staunton look to play the ball inside, and it's intercepted by James Barrigan. Now Niall Cummins looks to set Neil Kenji, and Neil Kenji beats his man, and now Neil Kenji's through 1-on-1. Neil Kenji, and he scores! On the counter attack, Neil Kenji scores, and it's Marine 1, Bradford Park Avenue 0. A fantastic goal. Exactly what the game plan of Neil Young is: sit back and look to counter attack. And the ball was won very high through a mistake through the Bradford Park Avenue defence, and the ball was played through to Neil Kenji, who fantastically beat his man, and through 1-on-1 he puts the ball past Johnny Saltmer, and he gives the Mariners the lead, and it's Marine 1, Bradford Park Avenue 0. "20 minutes into this game, and the side 2 divisions below Bradford Park Avenue have taken the lead. And now Bradford will restart the game with Rawson. And it's played forward to Johnson. Johnson now into Rawson. Into Richmond. And into Marriott. Back into Richmond. Into Rawson. Back to Oddenston. To Johnson. Back out wide for Rawson. Just outside the Marine penalty area. And he manages to get a cross in. And it's a free header for Motley Henry. But the ball was slightly just above him. And as he jumped, his header is flicked on and goes out for a Marine goal kick, which Bailey Passant will take. And it's an excellent start to the game for the Mariners, who have won all the previous 3 ties in this competition through penalty shootouts. But hopefully today it won't go the distance and the Mariners can win in 90 minutes. And now Cummins battle as well. And Barrigan looks to, and the ball swooped forward. And then it's a poor touch by James Devine, and it'll be a throw-in the corner flag for Bradford, which Doherty will take. He leaves the throw-in for Oddenston, but the ball is headed away by Lynch, and now it's a misunderstanding once again between the Bradford Park Avenue midfielders, and it's played back to Kyle Haid. Haid looks long towards Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins beats his man, but the ball runs forward and is played high into the air, which Mark Half wins the header. And now Doherty on the left hand side. Plays it to Motley Henry. Motley Henry looks to cross the ball, and it's a fantastic chance for Luke Rawson at the back post after the ball was crossed in. He was up against Kyle Haid at the back post, and Rawson, who looks to have got a bit of height on the full back, managed to win the header, but just didn't get the right connection and heads the ball wide. It was a very good chance for Bradford, which is wasted by Luke Rawson. And it remains Bradford Park Avenue 0, Marine 1. And it'll be a goal kick, which Bailey Passant will take. And Passant plays the ball up the pitch towards Owen Watkinson. Owen Watkinson heads the ball down to Stratulis. Stratulis looks to send Neil Kenji once again. And Neil Kenji wins the ball high. And he has a shot from a difficult angle as he looked to catch Saltmer off his line, but it hits the side netting. But it was good work from Owen Watkinson to win the header and put Kenji through. But just the angle was a little bit too hard for him to double to get a brace in the match. Now Saltmer plays the ball high, to which Mark Howarth wins the header. And now James Barragan looks to bring the ball down, but it's a poor touch by Barragan. But the ball's wasted as Bradford look to play the ball over the top, and the ball rolls into the hands of Bailey Passant. Passant rolls the ball out to Mark Howarth. Back to James Devine. Devine looks to switch the ball, but it's a poor switch from Devine, and it didn't even reach Niall Cummins, and it's headed out, but the ball breaks to Stratulis, and Stratulis driving forward plays the ball wide to Neil Kenji. Once again Neil Kenji cuts inside and he looks to find Owen Watkinson, and Watkinson does get the ball on the right hand side in the corner flag, and as he tries to beat his man, the ball deflects off Staunton, and the referee gives a corner, which will be the second of the match for Marine. A lot of the Bradford Park Avenue players disagreed with the referee's assistant's decision. But Owen Watkinson has won Marine a corner kick, which Stratulis will take on the from the right hand side. Stratulis to whip the ball in. Goes towards the back post once again towards Mark Howarth, but this time it's overhit slightly and the ball is cleared forward. Kyle Haid wins the ball. He plays it to David Lynch. David Lynch plays the ball back to Kyle, but it deflects off Oddenston and goes out for a Marine throw in on the halfway line. Haid with the long throw in towards Niall Cummins, but it just doesn't reach him, and Rawson manages to bring the ball forward. Rawson into Johnson. Johnson into Richmond as he looks to drive at the Marine defence, and it's played wide to Doherty. Doherty looked to find Johnson, but it's a poor pass, and Devine steps in and does brilliant and plays the ball into Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins looks to play the ball over the top for Neil Kenji. Kenji just can't get there, but the ball's put out by Staunton, and it'll be a Marine throw in. In the Bradford Park Avenue half, and Solomon Davies will take into James Devine. Devine drills the ball forward into the feet of Niall Cummins, but the ball bounced off Niall Cummins. Neil Kenji battling on the far side manages to win a Marine throw in. And Solomon Davies into Cummins. Cummins once again with a poor touch, and Solomon Davies has to bring down the Bradford Park Avenue midfielder as he looked to counter-attack. As he stops the counter-attack, but the referee surprisingly doesn't give Solomon Davies a yellow card. And it'll be a free kick for Bradford Park Avenue, which is played forward. Johnson flicks it on. Now Doherty. Doherty then comes back to the captain, Haven. Haven into Oddenston. Oddenston back inside to Marriott. And once again, Marine forced Bradford to go back and play the long ball once again towards Motley Henry. But it's overhit and is let go by Solomon Davies and it'll go out for a Marine throw-in. As we enter the 28th minute of the match, it's currently Bradford Park Avenue 0, Marine 1, with a goal by Neil Kenji. And Bradford look to play the ball over the top, and Mark Howarth takes no chances and heads the ball out, and it'll be a Bradford Park Avenue corner, which it looks like Motley Henry will take. Motley Henry crosses the ball and comes for it but drops it, and the ball breaks, and now it's an effort from outside the area and it deflects, and Barragan manages to block the ball, and it comes back out to Motley Henry, who once again tries a shot, and once again Barragan's out there to deflect the shot, and then it's headed away by David Lynch. Now Motley Henry once again driving at the Marine, and it plays into Johnson. Johnson into Doherty. Doherty beats two man. Doherty from outside the area, and his shot goes over the top of Bailey Passant's goal, which the keeper seemed very confident with that was going over, but it was good work from the number 9 as he beats Stratulus's tackle, and then David Lynch, but the effort on his weaker left foot goes over the top of Passant's crossbar. And it'll be Passant to take the goal kick. And Passant aims towards Owen Watkinson, but he doesn't win the header. But David Lynch wins the second ball. Lynch looks forward, pass deflects, and the ball ends up at the feet of Niall Cummins. Cummins into Barragan. Barragan looked to find Owen Watkinson, but he slipped and he's stayed down, holding his ankle. But Bradford Park Avenue continue to play an attack on the right hand side. Neil Kenji drops in and intercepts. Now it's into Stratulus. Stratulus does brilliant and manages to win a free kick halfway inside the Bradford half after a foul from Staunton. He done brilliant to get in front of his man and then a push in the back, and the referee Aaron Bannister gives a free kick to Marine, which Ryan Stratulus will take. Stratulus looks to find Niall Cummins, and the keeper comes forward, and the ball breaks from Mark Howard, who looks to chip it, and the ball hits the post and bounces off the line. It was very difficult to see, as there was a lot of players in the box, but Mark Howard looked to capitalise on the mistake of Saltmer, and he looped the ball over him, but the ball bounced off the post and was then cleared off the line. And as Howard has a second chance of the game. But it remains Bradford Park Avenue 0, Marine 1. The Marine players were claiming that was handball on the line, with Niall Cummins and James Barragan, the two players who were claiming, but the referee disagrees. And it'll be a free kick for Bradford Park Avenue. And it's played forward towards Richmond. Richmond doesn't win the header, and Howard plays into Stratulus, but Barragan's intercepted, and now Johnson once goes back to Richmond. Richmond from 35 yards out plays the ball into the captain Haven. Haven looks to cross the ball into the back post, and James Devine manages to get a slight touch as two Bradford Park Avenue players at the back post, but that touch from James Devine caught the attackers of Bradford Park Avenue off guard, and the ball deflects off them and goes into the hands of Bailey Passant. And Passant plays the ball forward towards Neil Kenji. Kenji, using his body, wins the ball. Looks to cut inside, but it deflects into Solomon Davies and then into Barragan. Barragan looked to play the ball forward, but Doherty managed to just get in front of Barragan and is fouled, and now James Barragan will receive a talking to from the referee. And it'll be a free kick for Bradford inside their own half. With 34 minutes gone, it's currently Bradford Park Avenue 0, Marine 1. And it's a free kick inside the Bradford Park Avenue half, which the home side will look to play forward. And Rawson challenges with Howarth, but Howarth does fantastic to win the header, and the ball breaks for Marriott. Marriott into Staunton. Staunton into Haven. On the halfway line, Haven has the ball. Into Doherty. And once again, Marine force Bradford to go back. And the ball ends back in the feet of the goalkeeper, Johnny Saltmer. And he plays it short to Staunton. Staunton into Rawson. Rawson now comes back to Haven. It's a good passage of play with the ball by Bradford, and now the ball's played forward towards Johnson. Howarth wins the header, and the ball is very much just a pinball at the minute, as the two sides both battling for the headers, and Barragan manages to win the header and is fouled, and now Mark Howarth looks to take a quick free kick. He looks to switch the ball to Neil Kenji, and it's a fantastic ball by Mark Howarth, and now Neil Kenji driving on the right hand side, and he claims for a penalty, but the referee disagrees as the goal scorer went down, and now Barragan has fouled once again and receives a yellow card. The first yellow card of the match goes to James Barragan. Oh, and now there's a bit of pushing between Watkinson and Richmond, as Watkinson looked to give the ball back. Richmond, it seemed as if Richmond pushed them, which Watkinson didn't react well to. And now the referee and his assistant are talking to each other as the two players are being pulled away. And now the referee will pull the two players, Simon Richmond and Owen Watkinson, for a talking. Let's see if they receive a booking from the referee. But the referee says it's a final warning for the two and just gives them a talking to. But I'm sure another foul by Watkinson or Richmond will result in a yellow card, and it'll be a free kick for Bradford Park Avenue inside their own half, which Staunton will take. Staunton looks for Johnson. Johnson manages to flick the ball on, but not good enough, and it's by Devine, and Devine plays it into Kenji. Kenji looks to find Cummins, but as he went to clear the ball, he was fouled by Johnson, and it'll be a free kick for Marine, just outside of their own penalty area, which James Devine plays quick into Mark Howarth. But the referee plays for the rolling ball, and it'll be Bailey Passant now to push his Marine side up the pitch and go for the long ball. passing towards Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins wins and flicks it towards Stratulus. Stratulus into Kenji. Kenji looks to find Stratulus once again with a 1-2, but his pass was slightly overhit, and Motley Henry manages to shield the ball out, and it'll go out for a goal kick for Bradford Park Avenue, which Johnny Saltmer will take. Saltmer plays quick and short into the captain, Luca Haven. Luca Haven into Rawson. Rawson challenge in the air with Kyle Hayden. Kyle Hayden does brilliantly to battle and play it in to Stratulus. Stratulus into Kenji. And he plays it into back into Stratulus, but his pass is intercepted by Isaac Marriott, and Marriott plays it in to Oddenston. Oddenston then forward to Rawson, but a poor touch by Rawson, who's seen a lot of the ball in the opening 15 minutes of the match, but has been very quiet since then as the number 11. And it'll be a throw-in in the Marine half for Marine, which Kyle Hayden will take. Hayden to Cummins. Cummins flicks it on towards Watkinson, and the ball's put out. And it'll be another throw-in for Marine. As we're in the 40th minute of the match. Just the final 5 minutes of the half. And it's Bradford Park Avenue 0, Marine 1. And it's a poor touch by Barragan. And he's fouled. He's fouled Marriott. But he's got to be very careful as Barragan, after he's already received the yellow card. And the free kick's taken quickly towards Johnson. Johnson loses the header to Howarth. But it goes out for a throw-in for Bradford on the halfway line, which Oddenston will take. Oddenston into Doherty. Doherty looks to get past David Lynch, but it's intercepted. And now Josh Solomon Davies looks to find Kenji. And now Solomon Davies looks to find Owen Watkinson in behind, but the ball's cleared out and it goes out for a throw-in on the right hand side, which Josh Solomon Davies will take. A cold Wednesday afternoon in Bradford. Now Johnston for Bradford Park Avenue. Plays it into Oddenston. Oddenston into Doherty. Doherty into Johnson. Johnson on the edge of the Marine penalty area. And it's played forward. And it's a penalty. It's a penalty after the Marine defender dived in. And the referee disagrees, as all the Marine players. I think it was James Devine who's given away the penalty, as he claimed that he won the ball. But the referee disagrees, gives a penalty to Bradford Park Avenue, and it looks like number 9, Brad Doherty, will take up against Bailey Passant. In the 42nd minute of the match. And Doherty will take up against Passant. And he scores. Passant went the same way. He guessed right. But it was a fantastic penalty by Doherty. And it goes on the inside netting. And that makes it Bradford 1, Bradford Park Avenue 1, Marine 1. In the 43rd minute of the match. And the Marine players continue to have a go at the referee as they disagree with the penalty decision, and it'll be Stratulus to take the kick-off into Howarth. Mark Howarth towards Niall Cummins. The ball's headed out, and it'll be a Marine throw-in halfway into the Bradford Park Avenue half, which Josh Solomon Davies will take. And that's a real killer goal for Marine, with less than 3 minutes until half time. But now Marine look to attack again with Kenji. Kenji looked to cut inside, but is intercepted. Now Bradford will look to counter attack. On the left hand side, Johnson. But Divine tackles again. And it's another throw in. And Barragan will receive another talking to. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see James Barragan come off at half time after already being booked. And now it looks like he's on his final warning. And I wouldn't be surprised if Neil Young subs off Barragan to protect them and keep 11 men on the pitch for Marine. And on the left hand side, Johnson into Motley Henry, and it's intercepted. Now Barragan looks to play Kenji in, but the pass with his weaker right foot was a bit scuffed and bounces off the back of Neil Kenji and goes out for a throw in for Bradford Park Avenue as we approach the final minute of the half. And now Solomon Davies looks to play in Owen Watkinson. Owen Watkinson with a strike, and then it's the post. Owen Watkinson hits the post. And it was another fantastic counter attack from Marine. Just one pass from Josh Solomon Davies, and without even taking a touch, Watkinson's strike hits the inside of the post, but just didn't go in the back of the net. And now Bradford look to attack themselves through Rawson on the right hand side. And Watkinson works very well, hard for the team, and gets back to intercept them and put the ball out for a throw in, which Marriott will take. As we now enter injury time of the first half. And here's Doherty, the goal scorer from the penalty spot. And now into Johnson. And Johnson's battling with James Devine, but the ball's cleared once again.
The referee has indicated a minimum of 2 additional minutes.
And 2 minutes have been added on at the end of the first half, as Bradford look to take the lead, and they have done. And Bradford Park Avenue have taken the lead. And it looks like Ollie Johnson, a ball forward from Lucas Oddenston, and Bradford have taken the lead. And it's Bradford Park Avenue 2, Marine 1. Johnson.
And the goal scorer for Bradford Park Avenue, number 10, Ollie Johnson.
That's a real killer for Marine, who led by 1-0 with 5 minutes to go for the first half, but now look as if they'll go into the break behind. And I'm sure Neil Young will have after changes, sides talk, which would have been completely different, and the referee blows the whistle for the half time. And please join us for the coverage of the second half, as it currently Bradford Park Avenue 2, Marine 1 at half time.